What's going on, guys? It's me, PLASKY GAMES here, and today I'm fetching you guys Premier League predictions. These are my predictions, obviously. I don't know if you'll agree with most of them because I've tried to make it as realistic as I think it's gonna be. And the Premier League actually starts Friday. The day I'm recording this is indeed Tuesday, and I'm actually going to the Manchester United-Leicester match. Whenever I vlog that, probably not, because the fucking FA just block it every time I do. Originally, I did have another video planned for the football season, but in Cumbria lately, it's been rain after rain after rain after rain. And I was indeed going to do football pickup lines. If you want me to do that, guys, still, even if it's like in the middle of the season, or even just a few more weeks, then just let us know, and I'll probably do it. We're going to go from bottom to top, and starting off at number 20 is indeed Huddersfield Town. I'll put them 20th because last season wasn't indeed the best season to be a Huddersfield Town fan. Yes, they stayed in the Premier League, which probably was their goal, and that is amazing of them considering the team they had and all. But they are actually indeed one of the 5 teams that lost 19 games or more, which is indeed half of your games in the Premier League. And to be honest, guys, that just shows how lucky they were to stay up, conceding 58 goals and only scoring 28 as well. Now, Huddersfield Town, I know you've fetched some new signings in to try and improve the squad, but I'm sorry Huddersfield fans, I think you're going to finish bottom of the table. 19th, guys, they have indeed got Cardiff City. And I want to start off by talking about Neil Warnock, the manager. Yes, he's good at getting teams up there to the Premier League, but he comes straight back down. And 2 teams he's done that with is indeed Sheffield United and Queen's Park Rangers. Cardiff City's defensive work last season was actually amazing. In case you didn't know, in the Championship, they finished joint first at goals conceded. That's amazing for anyone to say, no matter what club level you are or what league you're even in. Now, I know this sounds like a lot of goals, but it's actually not. In 46 games of the Championship season, Cardiff City only scored 69 goals. And it wasn't actually their striker who got the most goals, it was indeed their centre mid, Callum Patterson. I have looked a bit into the season they had last year, and one of the main people I think is going to be a main threat for them is Junior Hoilett this season. And the main reason I'm saying Junior Hoilett is because last season in the Championship, he bagged himself 11 assists and 9 goals, which shows that he is the danger man in attack for them. To get that final relegation spot, I know some of you guys might not agree with me here, but I think it's gonna be them. I think it's got to be after the few seasons they've had in the Premier League recently, and it is indeed Southampton. Now, this is where the fans kind of break up with me and disagree with me, but it's my opinion. As I said, these are my opinions of where people are gonna finish, but I think Southampton, over the past 2 or 3 years, they've went rising up and up, and eventually they're all coming right back down. And the departures of Van Dijk and Tadic is not going to help them at all. So sorry Southampton fans, you're the final team to go down in my opinion. Now the bottom 3's out the way, which team is going to be lucky and finish in that 17th spot? And I have indeed went for Brighton. I know I'm going to struggle saying this guy's name, but the signing of Jahan Bash, I think that's how you say his name, scored 22 goals for the club he played for last season. That's amazing at any level to do, and I think him and working in Regs' own Glenn Murray, banging the goals for Brighton, will keep their survival and hopefully keep them up. In 16th position, I have indeed went for Bournemouth. Don't get me wrong, guys, Bournemouth are an amazing team to watch, and Eddie Howe, he's probably the most underrated coach in England, in any division actually, because he's got them from such a low league. He's nearly got them, well, he's got them in the Premier League. He finished top 10, not last season, but one before. And last season was just a bit of a dodgy season to be a Bournemouth fan and a Bournemouth team, obviously. It was just a bit of a dodgy season, but let's remember the one before, he banged them into the top 10. And the main reason I think Bournemouth will stay up but finish 16th is because their team, it's not the oldest team, let's be honest, but they have got young players such as Lewis Cook, that when they play their hearts out, they control the game. And I reckon they're going to do that next season to keep Bournemouth up. And yeah, I just think they're going to finish 16th and just scrape being relegated. So hopefully I've got Bournemouth right, because I love watching Bournemouth play football, especially against teams like Crystal Palace. You're always due to see a good game. Speaking of Crystal Palace, guys, they are indeed 15th in my list, and honestly, they are my favourite underdog team to watch in the Premier League. The football they play, it's fucking sexy. It turns any football fan right on. But the reason I've put them so down low in the table is because the Wilfried Zaha situation. Is he going to Spurs? Is he going to someone else? Is he staying at Palace? I don't know. Nobody knows. But I reckon Crystal Palace need that man. In 14th position, I have indeed got Fulham. One thing I'm surprised with Fulham is signing Mitrovic on a permanent contract. Honestly, Fulham, job well done there. Congratulations to you on getting him on a full contract, because last season he played 18 games for Fulham, banging 12 goals. That's amazing. He wins the majority of his aerial battles and all, guys. He's a big, strong forward, and I'd love that in any club. I love that I work it in Reds, especially a big strong forward, and hopefully Reds have a good season too, speaking of them. And being Mitrovic's position right now, guys, if I was him, I would be well happy. I mean, you've got Tom Kearney playing behind you. He can play a ball through into the box. And you've got Schürrle, who's also going to be playing on the left hand side. We all know that Schürrle can do in the Premier League. He was an underrated player at Chelsea. He demolished teams. I just can't wait to see that Fulham team next year. And Ryan Sessegnon, apparently he's supposed to be playing left back. I don't know what that crack is, but you know, we'll have to wait and see. Oh my days, this one could be a lot, and I mean a lot, of disagreements. I've put them so far down the table, and loads of people think they're going to finish in top half. It is indeed, in 13th spot, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Portuguese players everywhere, man. Portuguese players, and one of the main impacts of that team with Portuguese players is indeed going to be Rui Patricio. I can't say his name. Rui Patricio, in my opinion. They've got safe hands in net. He could win them games, lads. Honestly, he could win them a lot of games. I mean, let's say he had 6 excellent performances and they win them 6 games. Like, Wolves are not going to be the best Premier League team, let's be honest. But they are going to be one of the middle teams everybody has to watch out for. Them 6 games, let's go from 18th to about 11th. That gap is usually not very far apart. 6 games, 6 wins, 18 points. 18 points could be very fucking vital, especially at that part of the table. And with Wolves playing actually attacking, playing the formation 3-4-3 the majority of last season, I think Premier League fans are in for a massive seeing here. Like, they're going to enjoy the football I play. It's attack, attack, attack. And personally, I can't wait to see it myself. They won the league with 3-4-3, guys. They got promotion, automatic promotion even, I should say, with 3-4-3. Obviously, if you win the league. But it's just going to be good football to watch. Attack, 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 no sitting back. That rhymed, that. Attack, 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 no sitting back. 12th, I've actually got another underdog favourites team here, and I actually used to go and watch a few matches of theirs, and it is indeed Newcastle United. I mean, they fetched the signing of Kennedy in, and I think they fetched a few more. I don't really know, to be honest, but as I said, they fetched Kennedy on a free. I do feel sorry for them, like, true supporters of Newcastle, because they're just not spending money. Mike Ashley, you're just not dipping your hand in your pocket, mate. 11th place, guys, I have indeed got Watford. You're probably thinking, they've just got rid of Richarlison for 50 million. Why are Watford that high compared to some of the other teams I've already said? And in my opinion, guys, Richarlison leaving for 50 million is probably one of the best things Watford could have done this season so far. Well, obviously, the season hasn't started, but I do not rate Richarlison at all, and I'm glad that he's moved from Watford. I just think he was spoiling their attack. And the honest opinion on him, guys, is I think he's a greedy prick, and his attack work rate is awful. So that 50 million hopefully gets invested in a good way for Watford, and hopefully they do finish high in the table. I enjoy watching Watford play. 10th place, and there might be a lot of debates about this one as well. People might think they'll get Europa League, people might think they might finish even lower, like below 13th. And it is indeed Leicester City. Riyad Mahrez, we're going to start with that talk. 60 million to Manchester City. Yes, ridiculous money. Let's face it, he was one of the main goal threats. Yes, they've got Jamie Vardy who bangs in 20 a season, but let's be honest, if it wasn't for Mahrez, would Vardy have got half his goals? Like, Mahrez is literally like the girlfriend of Jamie Vardy when it comes to football. He supports him all the way and helps him out. 9th place, I've got Everton. No joke, I've actually put Everton here because that's around the area they finish every fucking season. But Richarlison, if he's going to play for Everton, then it might improve the attack. As I said before, I am not a fan of Richarlison at all. I think he's a very poor player. But if he finds his boots at the right club for him, Jesus, it's going to be money well paid for. And another reason I put Everton 9th is because of who they got in between the sticks, Jordan Pickford. I mean, the man's a fucking walking legend, eh? He saved England in the World Cup numerous times. I know we didn't win it, unfortunately. We finished 4th. Like, honestly, guys, Jordan Pickford is one of the best keepers in the Premier League. I don't care what anybody else says. My opinion is he's like 2nd, maybe 3rd best. 8th spot, and I think a YouTuber called Visa would take this, is indeed Burnley. Burnley's season last year. Oh my, if you're a Burnley fan, you'd have loved it. No joke, I enjoy watching Burnley. They were like one of the teams mainly on telly. And actually, they were consistent. With consistent wins, draws, a few losses. But they weren't like the old Burnley everybody else knows. Lose, odd win, draw, lose, like that. They just kept controlling the games and it was enjoyable to watch. I don't know what the crack is at the minute, guys, but apparently Joe Hart's having a medical at Burnley. I mean, if you think about it, you've got Nick Pope who saved your season and made it a whole lot fucking better. Do you need Joe Hart? Is Nick Pope better than Joe Hart? Is Joe Hart better than Nick Pope? Well, honestly, I'd keep Nick Pope. I actually would keep Nick Pope, people. I mean, he's got them Europa League. He's got them Europa League. For Burnley, who you'd expect to finish bottom 5. They're in Europa League because of Nick Pope. And obviously, getting some goals. And speaking of Europa League, here's 7th spot. And it is indeed West Ham United. They've fetched a Premier League winning manager in Manuel Pellegrini. Can he fucking do something at West Ham? I know I'm not saying win the league. Can he produce some magic and finish higher than what everybody thinks West Ham can do compared to last season? And fetching players in such as Jack Wilshere and Felipe Anderson, can they fetch a little bit of spark to the team? Can they give them some moral support? Yeah, Jack Wilshere and Mark Noble, that's gonna be some fucking stuff to watch next season, trust me. Or this season even. Now, what everyone's been waiting for and what everybody wants to hear in every single Premier League predictions video. The top 6. And here's the honest order I think it's gonna go this season. Number 6, Chelsea. You're probably thinking, why haven't I put Chelsea in the top 4? You've got players not knowing if they're staying or going, and by that I mean Courtois and Eden Hazard. Well, you just decide if you go into the Madrid teams or not. I mean, it's that simple. I mean, money involved and everything, but honestly guys, it's 2 days left in the Premier League transfer window and they're doing nothing but fuck about really. Me personally, I feel sorry for the Chelsea fans because the football they played last season, oh my days, it was horrendous. I didn't enjoy it. Well, I never really enjoy how Chelsea play, but it was absolutely horrendous to watch and I just do not want to see it this season. Such a good club going down the gutter. I mean, yeah, some teams like Arsenal, Man United, Man City and all that, they'll think, oh, Chelsea's like dropping up now. That means we're going to get some momentum and finish higher than them. That's probably going to be true, but we just have to see what happens really. Another player from Chelsea that I want to point out is indeed Alvaro Morata. Honestly guys, he's there to get goals. I don't know how many goals he got last season in the Premier League, but it wasn't that many. He couldn't score in a fucking brothel, and that is not good when you expect goals from him near enough every single match. when your striker can't score, you're going to get relegated. I mean, I'm not saying Chelsea's not going to get relegated, but they could. They could potentially. Who knows what could happen. And then, hopefully they do, because that'd be funny to see actually. But if you're not going to get goals, you will get relegated if your defence isn't on the best form. Now, you've probably noticed I've still got Arsenal and Tottenham in. You're probably thinking to yourself, oh my god, who is Plasky leaving out at the top 4? And this is the honest opinion. 5th spot goes to Tottenham Hotspur. Once again, they're not signing anyone. They're not trying to improve the squad. I mean, yes, they beat the majority of the little teams, such as like Leicester, West Ham. They beat the likes of them. But when it comes to Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man United, they can't even beat them. Yes, they beat Chelsea last year. I can't remember which other teams they beat in top 5, probably Arsenal. But I just don't think they're going to do it. I just honestly don't think they're going to get the job done unless they are on very, very top form against the big teams. And returning into 4th spot, for how many seasons they've got it, I don't know. It is indeed Arsenal. Oh my days, guys, I'm not even joking. This could be one of the strongest Arsenal squads we have seen in ages. They have got a solid goalkeeper in Leno. They have got an amazing back defensive line. The midfield is creative. And you've got Aubameyang and Lacazette up front together. That doesn't spell damage. I don't know what does spell damage. And speaking of Aubameyang, last year, 10 games for Arsenal, he got more goals to games than he played in the Premier League, banging in 13 goals. This year, I think he's going to have a massive impact on the squad, and I honestly think he could win Golden Boot. Just an honest opinion, he could win the Golden Boot. 3rd spot, there's going to be a fucking lot of chaos when I say this, but I think 3rd spot is indeed going to Manchester City. And now you understand why I think people are going to put in the comments and all that and think to themselves, why you put Man City 3rd? They lost 2 games last season, that was it. This year, I can see them cracking. Personally, I can see them cracking up and lose about maybe 5 to 8 games all season. Honestly, I just think it's going to happen. Man City finish 3rd and Liverpool and Man United finish above them. And speaking of Liverpool and Man United, which one is going to finish 2nd and which one is going to finish 1st? Well, I know loads of people are going to be divided by this decision. And some might call me stupid because I've put them in the top 2. And some might actually call us even more stupid because of my decision. And in 2nd spot, it is indeed Liverpool. They've signed Alisson, a great keeper. The defence is mediocre if you ask me, as it's good games, it had its bad games. The midfield, Gnabry Keita, is just going to dominate. I mean, I know he's not the tallest in height, but buff, yeah. I reckon he's going to like dominate the midfield, hold up the ball, and he's going to start the attack, if you know what I mean. I mean, the midfield, it is decent, but Liverpool's attack, we don't even need to talk about that. Everybody knows about Liverpool's attack force. Not to mention, that's just been improved by the signing of Shaqiri. And finally 1st, as I said, I've got Manchester United, and this is not just because I'm a Man United fan, this is indeed an honest opinion. I honestly think it's our year. Paul Pogba, he's just came back off winning the World fucking Cup. He's going to have a season to live up to. He's going to want that in his background. Yes, he's just got the World Cup trophy. Has Pogba got a Premier League trophy? I don't think he has actually, unless he won it when we were at United. I can't remember. But honestly, guys, he's got a season to live up for. He actually has. Loads of people slated him last season, and I mean loads. Even United fans slated him. I never slated the lad. I stick by my teams. I don't slate them at all. But honestly, he didn't have the best of seasons, I know, but I reckon he didn't out wrong, to be honest. But it's just other people's opinions really on what the lad's done. Last season he did actually get 10 assists and 6 goals, Paul Pogba. But at some point in the season, Mourinho wasn't picking him. He wasn't getting into the squads. Sometimes he was injured. When he wasn't even injured, sometimes he'd even struggle to get on a shirt. I mean, Mourinho dropping Pogba does not help when he's one of your best players you've got. And speaking of players, and I've heard he's had a good pre-season, it is indeed Fred, a new signing, his CDM role. I just reckon he's going to control the pace of the game, and hopefully he does that on Friday when I'm there. Another player I want to say about is indeed Alexis Sanchez. Not the best first season at Man United, we have to point that out, but apparently he's absolute dominated pre-season, and I just can't wait to see what it's going to be like this season for his future. If he's had a good pre-season, he's got to keep that going in the Premier League. I mean, you have a good pre-season, you can't just drop off like that. People are going to expect you to absolutely kick fucking ass in the Premier League after a good pre-season. Some people are actually saying he might be up front with Lukaku. Honestly, don't know what I think of that, Sanchez up front, but that duo would explode, and I mean fucking exploding goals. Lukaku, I actually think he's a great player with a great leadership. I mean, he's big and strong, he's the man to hold the ball up, and he's also the man that will get you goals from anywhere. I mean, as you've seen last year, the amount of rebound goals he got, tap-ins, the goals, aren't there? He's there to get the goals, he's following the ball in, he's running after that ball after every shot. The keeper parries it, United get a goal because Romelu Lukaku is there to tap it in. And that's what you want in a striker, to be there, getting the goals. I don't care what anyone says about these 30-yard long shots, you want a striker that's going to be effective in the box. And that, guys, wraps up the video. I know this is going to be at least half an hour long, maybe even 25 minutes, but I don't care how long it's going to be. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video. It's been me, Plasky Games. Peace out.